Hi there. Today we're going to review Facebook privacy settings. To get that, we go to Settings from any page, and then we go into Privacy. Here is where you can set everything that you're going to post from now on. You can put friends, you can make them public, you can make only me, you can even use custom where you can only show it to some people, or see it says specific people, or you can show it to everyone except some people, things like that. Close that down. If you've done stuff in the past and you don't know what your settings are, unfortunately you have to go through every single thing that you've done and choose a setting for it. There's no blanket setting for things that you've done in the past, except for things beyond a certain time on Facebook. In other words, at one time, before these settings were around, you couldn't choose who you shared stuff with. Now you can do that by limit past posts, and you want to limit old posts, and there's some information there that you can read about. Yep, and we want to confirm that you're about to limit all posts in your timeline without reviewing them. This global change can't be undone in one click. If you change your mind later, you'll need to change the audience for each of these posts one at a time. No problem. Now, who can contact you? Everyone. We've provided an email address to Facebook, but we haven't shared it with anyone. Nobody can see that. I'll show you how to do that later. We haven't given a phone number either, so it doesn't really matter whether anyone can see it or not. Do we want search engines to link to your profile? Doesn't really matter. This is a profile that doesn't exist. I mean, this person doesn't exist anyway. So that's it for privacy. If you go into timeline and tagging, only friends can post on my timeline, or this particular timeline. If you have people who post things that are rude or that you don't want other people to see, it's better if you can put enabled here, and that will mean that you have to review everything that someone puts on your timeline. In other words, your crazy friend who gets drunk one night can't suddenly post pictures of his or her drunken evening on your timeline. You get a chance to review it. No one else will see it but you, in other words. If you want to look at what your timeline looks like to someone else, you can go View As. And then we don't want to do that, so we will close that down and go back to Settings here. That way you get a chance to see what other people can see. It's a good thing to have this open in two browsers maybe, and you adjust settings in one, then you check them in another. Where were we? Timeline and tagging, right? Okay, who can see things? And we View As. Who can see posts that you've been tagged in your timeline? I would say only me, but it's up to you. You can make it public. It doesn't really matter. Who can see? Close that down. Who can see what others post on your timeline? I prefer to have that set to only me. It's up to you. It doesn't really matter for this account, as I say. How can I manage tags, people adding and tagging? Tagging is off anyway. Review tags people add to your own posts. I don't want people to tag stuff that I post. In other words, if someone posts something, if I post something and somebody else tags it, then all of their friends can see what I've posted. I don't want that. You can decide if you want to do that or not. When you're tagged in a post, who do you want to add to the audience if they aren't already in it? Friends. Again, you've got this thing coming down here. Friends, only me, or custom. Maybe only me. I like the idea of that. Now, this is unavailable in Canada. Perhaps it's available where you are. I know that the European countries have different privacy guidelines. Not sure about the United States. Who sees tag suggestions when photos that look like you are uploaded? This isn't available yet. This could be very weird. I would set it to off if it was available, but it's not available, so it's to me that's a little bit sketchy. That's it for timeline and tagging. Now, if somebody's really bugging you, or if you see a person on someone else's, if you see a friend or an ex-friend or an ex-girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever, and you want to block them, you can block them directly from their profile page by resting your mouse over the name, or you can just copy the name or email address here. So if I say Brian Mahoney, let's say, and it will give me some choices of who I want to block. There's my main account, and all these other guys named Brian Mahoney, of which there's hundreds. I can block any one of those. Sometimes you can't see if this person is the right person or not, so you need their email address, but we don't want to block ourselves, so we won't do that. Block app invites. Now, this is where you can completely hide or completely stop game invitation from someone. Say you have a person on your friend list who continually sends you game invitations. This is how you can do that. You can block them from here. Someone keeps having parties and inviting you. You don't want to read about it. Put the name in here, and then you can block it. If you get an app that consistently shows up, there used to be a poker one that showed up on our timeline all the time, we would block that. I think it was casino something or other. Every day there was casino this, casino that. So we completely blocked that application. All right, that's privacy, timeline tagging, and blocking all set up. I didn't read about this one, though. This is a restricted list. When you add friends to your restricted list, they can only see the information and posts that you make public. In other words, you had a little fight with somebody or something, and you don't want them to see everything you do. As long as you don't make those posts public, in other words, remember how we went back to this one, who can see your future posts? If you make a post available to only friends, then only your friends can see it. We know that. All right, so let's go down to blocking. If we add a person to a restricted list, they will see only the things that you make public. So that's how that works. Autocomplete. No, I don't want that. All right, that's it. We will go over notifications, mobile, and things like that on another video, but this one is long enough. Computers Made Simple. Over and out. Thanks for watching.